And he's setting up the new Commissar, the new Soviet Threat Fusion Center Commissar, over your rural communities. The feds are now going to roll into your local town.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
You may be arrested and or subject to other police action.
Tyranny is here. The grim future foretold in 1984 has become reality.
It really says that the state is God.
The United States is now recognized globally as one of the most oppressive police states on Earth. This film conclusively proves the existence of a secret network of FEMA camps, now being expanded nationwide. This documentary exposes how the continuity of government program has established an all-powerful shadow state. Police State 4 chronicles the sickening depths to which our republic has fallen. Prepare to enter the secretive world of emergency dictatorship. Body scanners, sound cannons, citizen spies, stage terror, and cameras on every street corner. It's only the beginning of the New World Order's hellish plan. The police state isn't coming. It's here. Secure your copy today at Infowars.com or see it online in the highest quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. Hi, folks. This is Alex Jones. I'm looking for people that have the wisdom to spot savings, opportunity, and recognize risk. Saving means to make money. The Cal-Ben Pure Soap Company can save you thousands of dollars and give you good old-fashioned real soaps that are triple concentrated and twice as good as what you're using now. Soaps made from vegetable and coconut oils that contain no useless dyes, perfumes, deodorants, or antibacterials. Your risk is the hundreds of hazardous toxic detergents that give you rashes, itching sores, and deteriorating clothing called lint. If you want something better, if you want something you've never had before, you have to do something you've never done before. Getting a free catalog is easy by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. Take charge of your health now by calling 800-340-7091 or see Calvin on the web at 5starsoap.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
We now take you live
To the Central Texas Command Center.
in the heart of the resistance. You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
Okay, I will continue with open phones and try to hurry through them, and then continue with calls in the third hour, and I'm going to cover massive amounts of news that we haven't even gotten to yet. It becomes really harder and harder to do this show because there's so much information. You want to cover it all properly and really dig down into it, but it's just impossible. You've got to track the websites, Infowars.com, PrisonPlanet.tv, GCNLive.com, the network site, has a lot of the news we cover and some of the news that doesn't make it up on our sites. That's GCNLive.com. Now, in 1933, we saw the War Powers Act come in after 3 years of depression, from 29 to 33. And that's when they set up the state police that are really federal police. That's when the feds really started standardization of everything. That's when the United States went into receivership to predominantly the foreign European banks that had set up the Federal Reserve. That's why today, most of the, quote, bailout money, and they hold us hostage and say, give us more money or the world financial system will collapse. You look at the numbers. They created it. We have their own documents. They designed it to implode our economies. As each country pays in trillions more, they only get deeper into debt because the very money they're giving the private banks is then charged back to the population with interest to the very banks that are given the money. You heard me right. I know that is so insane it makes no sense. You know, you give them your money, and then they charge you interest for giving them the money. You heard me right. It's a good business if you could con people to set it up, and they did. They did. But something that did the War Powers Act, and my grandmother's father, my great-grandfather, owned, the first Chevy dealership in Dallas. And, you know, the word is he didn't turn the gold in when he was told to. That's what Grandma told me. And a lot of people didn't turn their gold and silver in all over the country. But they came out and they said, turn your gold, turn your silver in. We're going to give you paper back for it. Roosevelt got on the radio, the fireside chat, and told the suckers to do it. And a percentage of the public lined up and gave them their money. And then publicly, the gold was shipped to Europe. The Firestone family got charged a year later with setting up a dummy corporation to buy their own gold back. It was the gold was shipped to the Rothschilds and others overseas. And then a year later, they basically doubled the price of gold and then made it legal for the public to have it again. So you could buy your own gold back from them at double the price. So people have always said, well, if you promote gold, they could confiscate it. Well, why own a house then? They could take that. Why have children? CPS might take them. Don't give up on life. Live and then fight. But yes, the criminals are going to try all of this. They're going to try to tax the internet. They're going to try to shut down free speech. They're going to try to force you on the internet too. They're going to try to control with artificial programs what you can type, what you can videotape, what you can do. It's all admitted. All the devices you buy now, you pay for the added cost of the government regulated, and in some cases not even regulated, just agreed upon consensus to put spy systems on board it. And then you pay for it. Now, to get to this news story, I want to go to the FBI Federal Bureau of Investigation, Western District Office, North Carolina. And we'll put this on screen. If you're a radio listener, it's up on prisonplanet.tv, but we've also written articles about it. And you just type in FBI or Justice Department press release on Liberty Dollar, and the top link is those guys. And you'll be at the FBI website. That's FBI.gov/Charlotte/press-release/2011/defendant-convicted ... And the reason I raise that is every time I mention this, folks say I'm making it up. Trolls online, on InfoWars, on YouTube, they know it's real. A lot of these are actually sock puppet admitted Pentagon drone programs that look like real people, but they're not. And we've been able to track the IPs and confirm most of them are. But the actual real operators, these are cold-blooded people that know this is real, just like every other real issue, but they're going to come tell you it isn't true to just create confusion. Kind of like when they're smashing tanks into the Waco church. They're saying, come out with your hands up. This is not an assault. When the Davidians came out, it's on the FLIR footage. They would shoot them with machine guns. You could see the guys, the troops from behind the tank shooting, the Bradley fighting vehicles, the people falling down, and then they'd roll the tanks up and on them. And then the kids were hiding out, and the special forces went in and put the bomb on top of the church records vault, the only concrete part of the building, and killed those babies real good because they deserved it. But, yeah, none of that's real either. Continuing here, these are hardcore predators, and they enjoy their job. So they're going to tell you this isn't real. So I just gave you the URL, phone numbers of the FBI. Defendant convicted of minting his own currency. And they used a hand-picked federal jury, and they keep these juries. These juries, has been proven, that's why they have a 98% conviction rate. You really believe 98% are guilty? That's why they would send a puppy to the gas chamber for killing JFK. They would do anything they're told, these juries. They're hand-picked juries. Most of them get paid off by the feds to put innocent people in prison. Nuthouse, for 14 years, Bernard von Nothaus, like Note and House, has openly been printing his own gold and silver coins, and it's totally legal. You got 8 states now passing or about to pass laws to do the same thing. It's always been part of America, and Ron Paul supported it, and his brother's been involved in a separate company, Wayne Paul, and it's totally legal. But they went and told the jury, this is counterfeiting. He's trying to claim he's U.S. currency, when he said the opposite. The whole thing was attacking the private Federal Reserve. So, see, they're saying he was imitating a real currency when our own currency since 1913 has been Federal Reserve notes, not U.S. dollars. But Note House didn't try to imitate the counterfeit Federal Reserve bills, notes of debt, notes of your servitude. And they didn't care. And even the Associated Press had to say that the U.S. statute does not say this was counterfeiting, and wow, how did he get convicted? Well, how is any of this? I mean, how is the TSA now, with Texas state reps and the head of the Texas Energy Commission telling them you're being punished for being against groping, line up, and this is on Fox News locally, I played it yesterday, and actually grabbing and squeezing the male genitals to make them writhe in pain and saying, is this punishment? Yes, it's punishment. I mean, these are jail guards. You're a prisoner. You didn't do anything wrong. You don't get it. Tyranny is when the criminals are the jail guards, okay? So everything's a big prison. Your kids are learning how to be prisoners, everything. Now, listen to what the U.S. attorney in their press release said. And again, they go on to say he is a unique type of terrorist. And, quote, terrorists will not be allowed to operate. Attempts to undermine the legitimate currency of this country. Now, remember, it's J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs openly running this. They devalue the dollar. The Chinese have said they've technically defaulted. The dollar's plunging. Global crisis. This is not their fault. It's von Nothausen's fault, okay? And I told you this is because they're getting ready to come after the gold and silver. Let's have an open fight over it. Let's throw it in their face. Let's see them try to get away with it. They're not going to. Call the tyrant's bluff, like Wiener and the rest of them. Attempts to undermine the legitimate currency of this country are simply a unique form of domestic terrorism. That's right. That's right. You are a terrorist. And what do they do per state per year? Thousands of cases using the Patriot Act, waiving the Bill of Rights, breaking in your house without warrants, digging through your trash without warrants, spying on you with no probable cause. That's now in the official FBI manual. AP last week. Just know nothing. The total head, shields down. Shields are down. They're releasing their criminal federal armies. They're federalizing the police. You try to have a protest, they'll crack your skull open so fast. Old lady comes out of a shopping center with a bag at G20. The cops say, get off the street. She tries to. They release the dog laughing as an old woman's chewed up. These are mad dog psychos. I'm not saying all the police are, but when they get into mob psychology, they are. All right, continuing. And by the way, they've given them this Glenn Beckian template, the conservative cops, that all protesters are SEIU communist, and that they can't wait. I've seen the comments online to shoot protesters. So they've really done a PSYOP number. No, everywhere where the SEIU's beating people up, they're allowed to beat people up and left alone on video. Attempts to undermine, I'm going to read this again. Attempts to undermine the legitimate currency of this country. This country doesn't exist anymore. It's under federal. Well, what the WikiLeaks documents 2 weeks ago prove, what we already told you in Endgame. We've been in the North American Union since 2005, and the first part of the document is keep this, say, secret integration by stealth. North American integration by stealth. That's a quote. Oh, but governments don't do anything in stealth. That's the prevailing common sense knowledge, we're told. Well, no, it's not. Everybody knows deep down the truth. They just keep the hoax going, saying the majority agree with that when the majority don't. Let me read this again, then we're going to talk to an expert on this. Attempts to undermine the legitimate currency of this country are simply a unique form of domestic terrorism. Wow, what a sentence. What a sentence. It's not the internationalists devaluing the currency when they are on record. And if you try to have your own gold and silver, you're a terrorist. That's quite a sentence. U.S. Attorney Tompkins said in the announcing verdict, while these forms of anti-government activities do not involve violence, see, being anti-government, if you're against what the government's doing, that's anti-government, that's illegal. I thought in America I could be against government policies. I thought I was the person. I thought I was on top. I was the sovereign in America. No. You do what the government says, even when 99% of people are against the banker bailout, it passes. 70+% against government-run health care, it passes. They don't care. 90+% against TSA grope downs. They still do it. They don't care. See, and they're saying it's terrorism. It's anti-government. Anti-government is terrorism. You don't like what color the streets